Let's start with a simple situation. Imagine two laundromats next to each other. They offer the exact same service, but one of them is always busy, while in the other one, everything is smooth. There's always a waiting line in the first one, and in the second one, there's no waiting line. Because the waiting line is so long in the first one, customers eventually walk away, and the other ones are actually satisfied with the services. Now, here's the interesting part. Nothing is broken in the first laundromat. It just doesn't handle busy moments well. And that's exactly how performance issues work in systems. They don't always fail, they just perform poorly when it matters most. Now, how do we translate this to performance testing? Let's say waiting in line becomes how long users wait. It's the delay that is like in websites. The longer you wait for a website to load, the more annoyed you get. With how many customers you serve becomes how much work your system handles. When it's very slow, you handle very poorly, and when it's very fast, you handle like all customers eventually quickly. Now, sometimes there are busy hours, and the busy hours here is actually the peak load, like how many users are doing the same thing at the same time. Let's say, for example, in Tomorrowland, when somebody tries to buy tickets, everybody is trying to. And now, worst case scenario, machines breaking becomes a system instability. And this is what performance testing is really about. It's not how fast things work in perfect conditions, but how they behave when reality hits. Now, let's start over again. We start with the laundromat, but change how it is built. Let's say the architecture of the machine. Think of it as a different way to run a business. Now, here, imagine you have like one big washing machine. It's easy to manage, it's very simple, but the moment a few customers arrive at the same time, everything slows down because you can only satisfy one customer at a time, and waiting or delays eventually build up. And if that machine has a problem, your entire business stops. You didn't do anything wrong, but you created a setup that struggles under pressure. Now, if you move to microservices, now you split things up. You separate machines for washing, drying, and payments. This gives you flexibility, you can improve parts independently. But now, customers move between steps. They wait in between, and if one step fails, everything is delayed. You solved one problem, but introduced a new one. Now, the hot talk, cloud. You want to get smart, and you think, wait a minute, just rent extra machines when it gets busy. You add one, when it gets even busier, you add a third one. But timing matters. If you react too late, customers are already waiting. If you overdo it, you are paying for machines you don't need. Now, performance is not just a technical problem, it also becomes a cost problem. Now we go to event driven. You're like, let's just do everything in house. You change the experience of the customer completely. Customers drop off their laundry. You will be washing their laundry behind their bags, and they will just come back later on to pick up their clothes again. There are no more visible queues because they just have to drop off and move on. But behind the scenes, work can start piling up. Imagine if you take on too many jobs and you don't have enough machines. Then there will be hidden delays until they become too big and you cannot follow anymore. Now, where do these problems actually start? And it's most likely in the design phase. It even starts before you open the laundromat. The moment you decide how many machines your laundromat has, you're already deciding how well you will handle customers. If you get this wrong, everything after that is just managing the problem. Maybe you have to add more machines, but if you don't have the room into your laundromat, you cannot add anything more. So think about how you design things. Is it only for 200 people or if it's like for 1000 people? Now, in the development phase, you already have all your machines, but not every machine is the same. It depends on how many resources you spend on it. Some machines run slower than others, some run faster. And here, it's the machine you run it on. If they run slower than expected, everything takes longer. Individually, it seems like really small, but under pressure, everything adds up quickly. And here, you can win the most speed or performance for your machine. Now we come into the testing phase. You're like, yes, I've done my design right, I've done my development right, and you're ready to test your laundromat. You pick a couple of customers, let's say 30, and you just let them do their thing. Everything looks fine until opening day. More people could show up. You cannot handle the demand, and suddenly the queues appear. Now, this is an issue because you didn't test it truly or you didn't have enough people to test for. Now, we are already live. You have learned Andromed. You're already like running your first year, but everybody knows you need to have updates. Even with the city becomes bigger. Your laundromat needs to handle more people because the city has more population. So now customers are actually using your laundromat, but let's say in busy weekends, unexpected peaks, you became all of a sudden a popular hit because you have wonderful services, but you didn't update right, then things break under pressure. And if you're not watching closely, you only notice when customers start leaving. And when customers are start leaving, that's revenue you lose. Now the business impact. Here it becomes a business problem. Customers don't complain forever. Eventually, they are so unsatisfied they will just leave your uh, laundromat in this case behind and go to another one which provides better service. This means you lost a customer, you also lost revenue because they are not spending their money in your laundromat but another laundromat. And to fix things, well, everybody knows if you have a bad reputation, you need to work really hard to get it good again. So the cost here to fix this issue is way higher than already solving it when you're designing it or developing it. And performance problems don't just slow down systems, they quietly drain value from the business. So it's not something that starts in production, it starts with the early decisions you made. The way you build your system defines how it behaves under pressure, and testing too late means discovering problems when it's already expensive. And if users feel the impact, the business will do. Now, what can we conclude out of this? Performance is not about just how fast your website works or how fast your services go. It's about your system behaves when it matters most. Imagine, like in our laundromat, you have everything fine, everything works perfectly. You have no delays when you test it. But if customers come in great peaks and they have to wait, you know yourself, you don't want to wait too long. If you open a website, you also don't want to wait to do something and you just click it away. That's the topic of this Brownbag. Thank you for listening.